Hi Sam, thanks for joining me this afternoon. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good, thank you. How has lockdown been for you?
I'd say it's actually been very beneficial to me because since I haven't had GCSEs because of I was meant to have them, but then end up because of coronavirus, it got cancelled. So I've been doing lots of fitness more than I ever done, and then since tennis has come back, I've still been doing more fitness, more tennis. So I've been trying to do as much as I can.
I've been checking out your social media posts over the last few days, and you do love posting pictures of you on court in the sunshine. I bet it's been a
Yeah.
real delight for you to be actually, now that lockdown is starting to ease, to be actually back out on court.
It's perfect. The conditions have been brilliant. Although some days have been a bit ropey, but otherwise it's been really good.
And what skills have you been picking up during lockdown?
During lockdown, I've tried to do some like other challenges, of course, that people have been setting me. I've done the pass the ball video with like the tricks around the world on the racket and stuff like that. And I've tried to learn some football skills, but it's not really working out.
Dare I ask which football team you support?
I don't support a football team. I've never, well, I used to, but then I just didn't become a fan of football, really. I'm just tennis, to be honest.
Do you like other sports, or is just tennis
Um,
the number one for you?
I'd say I definitely like basketball and table tennis. Those are the other two I really like.
I must admit, I always find watching table tennis, the Olympics, utterly fascinating. Just the skill and the technique that they use on such a tiny table as well.
Yeah,
It's fascinating to watch.
and the
So,
speed they hit it.
yeah, the speed they hit it as well, and also the way that they hit it as well. I mean, it's something that I will never learn and never understand, but, we are where we are. So, tell us about your career. I mean, what made you pick up a racket all those years ago?
I think one day it was just my parents decided, oh, let's just go to our local tennis club. I was 3 years old, and I just had they were just doing some fun things there. I went along, and then I carried on going, but like I didn't really focus properly. I was just having a bit of fun. I was playing football at the time, so um, so I had other things. But I it was once Andy Murray won Wimbledon in 2013 and got the gold medal in 2012. It was when, like, I believe I was like, all right, I want to try get as high as I can in this tennis career. And from there on, I was trying to play more tournaments, working as hard as I possibly could, and I just wanted to be like Andy Murray, to be honest, in those times. And then Roger Federer has always been my idol.
I watched that final when Andy Murray played, and my sister was around with me at the time. And I was that nervous, I actually went and stood outside and hung up the washing because I couldn't bear. My sister
This
will remember this because I got that nervous for him, even though I'm not in front of a massive crowd. Because you know what Djokovic is like, Djokovic can come back. And I just got that
exactly.
nervous for him. I had to go outside and do something else. So I decided to hang up the washing for a little bit, then come back in again. It's so great that
I,
he's inspired you, though, for your career.
Yes, definitely. It's just how, well, my dad and I call it the Andy Murray generation, like my age group, because when he won Wimbledon, more people started playing more tournaments and started pursuing. Even like all the girls' tournaments, they went up in numbers because a British player had won the first time, no, second time in Wimbledon for 77 years since Fred Perry, I believe.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
it's mental.
You mentioned about Roger Federer there. Talk to me about your game style. Is your game style more his style, or is it Rafael Nadal style, or Djokovic style?
Um,
Do you have your own style?
I I've built it. Well, I wanted to be like Roger Federer and have a game style, but it changed quite a bit because I grew quite a lot in the past 2 years, and my coach and I have been working on trying to build around Kevin Anderson, so more big server and net rushing. So that's my game style that I'm building towards. That's what I'm working on at the moment.
How funny you mentioned that, because I was watching some tennis on TV this weekend, and they were talking about the height of the men has just rocketed up. People like, as you say, Kevin Anderson, who's over 6 foot. John Isner is another one who's over 6 foot. How tall are you right now?
I'm 6'5". I'm half a centimeter off Del Potro.
Wow. And you haven't even stopped growing yet.
Not yet, no.
Wow, that's amazing. So again, as such a tall person, you're having to adapt your style now and the way that you play?
Yeah, I'm having to adapt it. That's why I've chosen Kevin Anderson, because of the way he plays and how he's tall. And that's what I'm looking towards, making my game fully like that, or adding bits where I would use more. But the only thing that's different, I have a one-handed backhand, and Kevin Anderson obviously has a double-handed backhand. But
yeah, I dared to ask you about the one-hand or the double-handed backhand, but it will set off a massive debate. But it's good to know that there are still some single-handed backhands out there, because I think Tsitsipas is another one who plays with a single-handed backhand as well.
I like Tsitsipas. He's one of my favourite players at the moment.
Yeah, the crop of players that are coming through, maybe that's not really the right term, but those are becoming more high profile. We mentioned Tsitsipas, Dominic Thiem, Zverev is another. Let's throw in Nick Kyrgios as well.
Yeah. He could be so good.
Well, he is. Is this a really exciting time for men's tennis, knowing that we still have the big three, but we've got these young guns now as well?
I feel like at one point in like 2 years, I'd say one of them, or maybe two of them, even I think Medvedev's going to have a big breakthrough. But I think they're going to put a lot of the top three under pressure, as they've already shown. Tsitsipas winning the ATP World Tour Finals, or Zverev beating Djokovic in that. And it's just showing that they're learning and progressing rather than probably the big three thought.
I'd agree with that. Watching Tsitsipas beat Federer at the Australian Open was a jaw-dropping moment. It was like watching a match back in the 1980s. The serve and volleying that he was doing, it was absolutely amazing. And he's backed it up as well. Yeah. And that's really important nowadays for tennis players, isn't it? That they're able to obviously show it on court and beat the big players, but they need to be able to back it up as well.
Exactly, yeah. They need to withstand that pressure of just beating, say, Roger Federer. And then they're progressing forward into the tournament, and then they go lose to someone who they think they shouldn't really be losing to. But now they're showing that they can continuously win throughout a tournament. I think the big three are going to be worried.
I like that. The big three are going to be worried. I like that. Let's see how that goes. So let's talk to me about a typical day for people who are just casual tennis players. Talk to me about what your day is like as a tennis player.
At the moment, it's very busy. But when I was at school, I was obviously doing my schooling. But instead of PE, I did a tennis lesson, depending if it was the morning or the very last lesson. So I'd go off to Pershore, do an hour and a half session in the morning on every 2 weeks on a Wednesday, and 8 till 9:30, and I'd do that with my coach, and it just be so much more fun than obviously doing PE, because it's probably pointless for me doing that. But I've progressed it a lot more now. So at the moment, each week I'm having drills with my dad at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 till 9, then having a hit with someone if it's possible. And then in the afternoons, I'm trying to find people to hit with. So I'm either going to different places, different courts to hit with people. Especially, I'm trying to find some high-level players to hit with as well. I'm hitting at the moment with someone who's just come back from American University, Alex Maggs, and he's been very useful. He's such a good player.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I've seen your videos that you put up on your social media. I've seen your hitting practice with Maggs, which looks quite tough sometimes.
It is very tough, yeah, because he hits at such a high level. I'm having to up mine to like either stay on par or just be behind him. It's just helping me improve so much.
You mentioned that video is actually quite an important part of your training, because you like to obviously record what you're doing and then watch it back. What is it like growing up as a tennis player in the social media age now? It's quite tough actually, but sometimes it's quite good, because you meet new players or you make new contacts. If you ever go to those countries, you'll be able to meet up with them or have a hit with them. But then there's also the downside of people either having jealousy or just feeling they're funny, commenting or trying to rattle you. But I've had that a bit, but I've just learned to not listen to it or ignore it. Just get on and listen to the positive things. Don't let the bad things take over your mind. Because we've known in the past that some tennis players, in fact, generally sports stars, even though social media on the one hand has been a really positive thing because they can share that part of their lives, the other side of it is that negative, sometimes abusive feedback, shall we say, that they get from members of the public. You say, you know, you're dealing with it. How do you deal with that side of things?
I just try leave it alone. I just delete the comment or block them. I'm like, why should I listen to you if it's as irrelevant as what like it's not important to me at all. Knowing that people want to try bring me down because the negatives just bring you down. That's why Instagram is also a very good platform because you have so many people commenting and saying a lot, and it just gives you more confidence and it makes you feel more positive.
And that's not just the only challenge as well, because back in around about 2018, 2019, you wrote a very poignant blog, which I found really fascinating to read, about dealing with a particular illness. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it was an autoimmune disease called Henoch-Schönlein purpura, also known as HSP. We believe it came along from me having tonsillitis, that my immune system got shut down and it just started fighting itself because I had nothing to fight after my tonsillitis. So I ended up, it was just after Christmas time, I was at a tennis tournament and I was at my grandma's in Southampton and I was playing the tournaments there and I just felt like my feet felt really heavy and swollen. We checked them one time and it just looked like I had flea bites or something on my feet. But then they went and then they came back the next day. But the next day, in that evening, I was just playing Xbox with my cousins because they wanted to have a bit of fun. And I just got up to go downstairs and my feet just like felt like bricks and I just couldn't move them. I got downstairs, couldn't take off my shoes, couldn't take off my socks. My feet were just so swollen, my ankles especially, like a golf ball. And it was just really painful. And we had to, well, my mum's brother is a GP. So he straight away said it could be this. So we went to the hospital and they said, yes, it is Henoch-Schönlein purpura. And I was in hospital for about 4 hours, I'd say. And it was just getting blood tests and everything because I think you may have, like, it's bad if you have a lot of protein in your urine. That's what it was. But, it affected me quite a lot because I couldn't play tennis. I couldn't do any fitness at all. I was just sat in my bed or downstairs and I couldn't really go to school either. So I was missed out on loads of schoolwork. I think I missed like probably 2 months of school in total, and tennis I missed for 6 months. Didn't pick up a racket for that time. I was just playing PS4, watching films, and then when I came back, I just had no stamina at all. So I had to try get stronger, but it took another 6 months for me to come back. But after that, I actually changed the one-handed backhand in just July. I was like, I've had all this time off and I thought I've always wanted one, so why not change? So my coach said, yeah, that's fine. So we changed to a one-handed backhand. From then, I just tried to work as hard as possible to get myself back to full health.
Can I ask, did at any point during that time when you were suffering with HSP, did you ever think, can I get back out there and play on a tennis court?
See, I wanted to, but obviously what I'd been advised to is just rest. I was always going to be like, they said it would last 6 months to a year, and that's what it was. But I was like, I'm positive, I'm sure I'll get back to tennis at some point. And of course I did. But it took a long time to get my rhythm, to get my movement back. And it was very hard because I couldn't really do much, to be honest. But once I started playing tournaments and more training, I started getting better and better, training that backhand, and I ended up being a better player than I was before. I was smarter. I didn't get as angry on the court because I learned that I didn't have to get angry at petty things, because how I was affected really badly there, and had that 6 months out. I learned that I don't need to. It's about playing. It's just enjoy it and have fun, and do your best you can.
And I guess also it's a case of listening to your body as well, because your body was telling you that something wasn't right, and thankfully you got treatment for it. So how patient did you need to be with your own body? Because your mind is thinking, I can go out and play, but your body's going, hang on a minute, Sam, we need a bit of a break to recover from this.
I've always been very cautious of my body, and I've always known when something's not right because I never get like really badly ill or because my immune system's usually quite good. But at that time, I was like, yeah, I'm not good. I'm gonna wait. And I was picked to be in the county team at that time, but I was gonna play. I was like, I just can't. I don't feel like I'll do anything. I won't be able to help the team. So I just stayed at home again and just tried to persevere through the time of not playing at all.
And are you fully recovered now?
Fully recovered, so it's all gone. It's all fine now.
So not only are you dealing with HSP, if that's right, that's the right way to say it,
Yeah.
isn't it? You're growing quite quickly, and also you're dealing with stuff with the social media age. I mean, this is quite a lot of stuff to deal with. How do you keep such a positive mindset?
I just always look at the bright side. I just think if I come through all this and I manage to get to like a really good level, and I'm like, I'll just be happy because I've achieved my goal. Like my biggest goal is obviously to try get to pro tennis, but I've just got to continue to work hard, play loads. Because I just enjoy tennis so much, I'll just never probably move away from the sport.
Let's have a look at the future then, because you've got some big decisions to make in the next few months or next year or so about what you want to do next. About, do you want to go and train abroad, or would you like to stay here in the UK?
Originally, like a couple of years ago, I was like, I want to go to academy full time. But then once I went to Edgbaston, I saw that like loads of likes of Alex Maggs and other players were going off to American university. I was like, that doesn't seem like a bad pathway. So that, even though it's very expensive, we're going to try see what I can do and to get onto that route, which will probably be a lot easier than trying to go straight and play loads more tournaments, because it'd probably be like abroad playing loads of tournaments would be very expensive. So we're just looking at probably trying to go that American college route and see where it takes me, to be honest.
And outside of tennis, who are you? What do you like to do?
I like to watch a lot of TV or play table tennis with my dad in the back garden. I also enjoy a lot of gaming with my friends who I've met from all around the world. When I've been to Spain and I've just met them, I'll usually game with them or tennis in Persia, and I just enjoy doing that because I like socialising in that way.
Speaking of gaming, and my gaming knowledge is really limited, so bear with me. I saw an announcement last week. Is it the new PS5?
Oh yeah, the PS5.
What do you think?
I would like to get it. That would be quite good if I got it. But obviously, it is going to be expensive. But why not? Why not hope?
Somebody said on social media it looked like a Wi-Fi router, which I thought was
Yeah,
incredibly harsh. I actually thought it looked okay.
it doesn't look too bad. I think it's all right.
No, fair enough. I like. I mean, like I said, I'm not a gaming fan, but I thought the design looked quite nice. But I guess Xbox at some point is going to come back out and
Yeah.
something to rival that. I feel sorry for parents around the country because Christmas is looming, so that's going to be interesting for sure. I just want to talk to you about friendships as well, because we know that tennis is it's a lonely sport, as some
Very.
do say. How important is it that you have friendships off the court?
I always my main friends have obviously been in tennis, so I've always either gone out with them to just go somewhere or go over to their houses, chill, have some food. But also having friends at tennis centres. My parents also get along with their parents, so we would usually go over to theirs for like New Year's Eve or something. And I find it quite good the way I have friends in tennis as well, where I can meet them outside of the sport as well. But at school, I'm in touch with a few of my friends, but not as much anymore because of I'm not going to go to school. I'm going to be doing homeschooling from September.
And I guess that's one of the sacrifices that you need to make because you want a career in pro tennis.
Exactly, yeah. You have to make a lot of sacrifices.
What other sacrifices do you think you'll have to make?
It's like always. I think if school was still on at the moment and there was like the prom and stuff, there was going to be an ITF at that time. So I was like, do I either go to the prom or go to an ITF? my mind's definitely saying go to the ITF. So I'm like, obviously got to go to the ITF, so because it could help me in the future. But yeah, a lot of sacrifices are made, and a lot of time is taken up by tennis. But it's all for the best of my what I want to do.
Because this is the life that you want, and you're good at it,
Exactly.
obviously, because you're winning matches and you see a big pathway for you. So what is the plan for Sam Rayner? Where do you want to see yourself in about 5 years' time?
5 years' time, I want to at least have a ITF ranking, some points as well, and just try play more tournaments abroad and try push myself to my limit.
And finally, for you, Sam, if I could give you the option of playing on a tennis court with one tennis player from the men's tour right now, who would you choose, and would you win in a best of 3 or a best of 5?
I would have to. I'm stuck between Del Potro or Federer because those two are my all-time favorite players. But I'd probably have to say Del Potro because I find him a very entertaining player to watch. So I thought I'd go for a 5-set match because it will be quite an entertaining, fun thing to do.
Absolutely. Long live 5-set matches. I'm a big fan of 5-set matches. I hope they're here to stay for the future. Sam, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Truly, truly fascinating. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to seeing more videos of you in the sunny weather out on court.
Thank you very much.